The viral respiratory disease of measles has killed one person and infected 30 others in Nepalganj. Even as cases of measles were reported in the past 3 years, no deaths were recorded. However, with the recent death and infections seen in Nepalganj, has added further challenges to the government's policies and international commitments. Good morning, I'm Abheudaya Shrestha, and these are the headlines of the hour. 6 people killed and 18 others injured in a bus accident in Palpa's Satyawati of Raina Devi Chhara rural municipality. Measles takes its toll in Nepalganj as 1 death and 30 infections are reported, adds further challenges to the government's policies and target of eradicating measles from the country. Russian President Vladimir Putin orders his defense minister to impose a 36-hour ceasefire on the Ukrainian front line beginning today. Kiev rejects the weekend truce. And Sri Lanka defeat India by 16 runs in the second T20 International in Pune as the visitors leveled the 3-match series at 1-1. Shanaka and Mendes shine with the bat, scoring half-centuries. 6 people were killed and 18 others injured in a bus accident in Palpa's Satyawati Madhuban of Raina Devi Chhara rural municipality 8 last night. Palpa's DSP Janak Bahadur Shahi informed that the bus headed to Palpa's Satyawati Khursane from Sal Jhandi, Rupandehi, met with the accident last night on the Sal Jhandi Dhorpatan road section, and 6 people were killed at the spot of the accident. According to Satyawati Khursane ward chairperson Rem Bahadur Rana, the 6 females killed in the accident were all from Satyawati Khursane rural municipality. Out of those killed in the mishap, the identity of 1 person is yet to be ascertained. The police informed that the ill-fated bus veered off the road and fell some 60 meters. The injured were rescued by the police and locals and have been taken to Lumbini Provincial Hospital in Butol for treatment. Chairperson Rana informed that rescue efforts were hampered during the night due to foggy weather. The Election Commission has made preparations to conduct elections for the position of the President and Vice President between mid-February and mid-March. As per the legal provision, the post of the President and the Vice President must be filled a month before the expiry of the term of the sitting President and Vice President. The Election Commission, however, has geared up to conduct the elections about a month later, as the Constitution ensures a 5-year term for the sitting President and the Vice President. The current term of the President ends on 13th of March. However, there is no clear judicial provision regarding oath-taking process for the positions. Meanwhile, the election to choose the Vice President must be conducted within 15 days of the appointment of the President of the country. 334 members of the Parliament and 550 members of the Provincial Assembly will cast their vote to elect the President. The total population of the country divided by the number of members of the Parliament will be the equivalent vote weight of the Federal Parliament, while that of the province will be the total population divided by the number of members of the Provincial Assembly. The Central Bureau of Statistics has yet to submit the latest census report. As per the initial report of the census, the vote weight of the Federal Parliament is likely to be 85 and that of the province is projected to be 53. Prior to this, in the year 2017, the vote weight of the Federal Parliament was 79 and the Provincial Assembly 48. Power sharing has grown complicated in the 7-party ruling coalition. Despite the calls for the formation of governments in 6 provinces, senior leaders of the ruling parties have yet to conclude on power share. Major parties of the ruling coalition, CPN-UML and CPN-Maoist Center, are facing difficulties in ensuring power share as other partners, Rashtriya Prajantra Party, Janata Samajwadi Party and Janmat Party have demanded 1 major state position each, along with a share in the Council of Ministers. Rashtriya Prajantra Party has claimed 3 federal ministries alongside Vice President or Bagmati Province Chief Minister. Janata Samajwadi Party has also put forward the demand of 3 federal ministries and the inclusion of their demands in the government's Common Minimum Program alongside Vice President and Chief Minister of Madhya Province. Nagrik Unmukti Party has put forward the term of release of Resham Chaudhary, while Janmat Party has also demanded 3 federal ministries and Chief Minister of Madhya Province. It is not easy for the coalition to share the positions as demanded by all parties in the alliance. Meanwhile, largest party of the alliance, CPN-UML, has remained firm in its demand of 9 ministries, while CPN Maoist Center wants 5 and Rashtriya Swatantra Party has demanded 3 federal ministries. Despite the consensus on CPN-UML receiving the president and speaker, CPN Maoist Center continues to claim vice president, while Rashtriya Swatantra Party wants deputy speaker. CPN-UML and CPN Maoist Center have also agreed to lead 4 and 2 provinces respectively. However, with Rashtriya Prajantra Party claiming Bagmati Province and Janamat Party and Janata Samajwadi Party claiming Madhya Province, the ruling coalition faces a complex challenge in ensuring power share. The task force formed to prepare the draft of the government's common minimum program is scheduled to give a final shape to the draft today. The meeting of the task force held at the Ministry of Finance yesterday discussed on current affairs but was not able to give a final shape to the draft. The meeting failed to give a final shape to the draft due to the absence of a member of the task force, Barshaman Pun, who was reported sick. Coordinator of the task force and Deputy Prime Minister Bishnu Paudel said that the draft would be given a final shape this morning. The draft is being prepared considering the recommendations of the parties of the ruling coalition. The task force led by Paudel includes 1 representative each from the ruling coalition parties. Despite the ruling coalition including 7 parties, there are no representatives in the task force from Janmat Party and Nagrik Unmukti Party. The government has decided to hold the election for the vacant post of the National Assembly on 8th of February. Yesterday's meeting of the Council of Ministers decided to hold the election for 1 National Assembly member representing Lumini Province on 8th of February. Kimlal Bhattrai had resigned on the day of the registration of candidacies for the election of the House of Representatives on 9th of October. The Election Commission is to make preparations for the election following the decision of the Council of Ministers. Meanwhile, the cabinet meeting has transferred Toyam Rai as the Secretary at the Ministry of Finance. Rai was previously serving as the Secretary at the Ministry of Industries, Commerce and Supplies. Meanwhile, Ram Prasad Ghimire has been appointed as the Revenue Secretary of the Ministry of Finance. Speaking after the meeting of the Council of Ministers, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Home Affairs Rabi Lamichhane said that the government's common minimum program would be introduced by including issues of public concern. Lamichhane further went on to add that the common minimum program was being prepared with the objective of delivering the assurances made during the elections. The Parliament Secretariat, Election Commission and the District Administration Office have called for scrapping the writ filed at the Supreme Court against Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Home Affairs Rabi Lamichhane. Furnishing their clarifications to the Supreme Court in separate correspondences, the Parliament Secretariat, the Election Commission and the District Administration Office Kathmandu demanded for scrapping the writ. Legal Joint Secretary of the House of Representatives, Lakshmi Prasad Gautam, in his clarification said that there was no reason or basis for having the Parliament as a defendant in the case. Secretary of the Election Commission, Gokarna Mani Duwadi, noted that Lamichhane had registered the party as required by the constitutional and legal provisions and had furnished necessary documents. He has further added that there was no reason to remove Lamichhane from the position of chairperson of Rashtriya Swatantra Party or scrap his party membership. Meanwhile, Kathmandu Chief District Officer Ghanashyam Upadhyay mentioned that the dispute related to the citizenship of Deputy Prime Minister Lamichhane had not violated any rights of the writ applicants. The Supreme Court had asked for clarifications after advocates Yuvraj Paudel and Raviraj Basula had filed a writ against Lamichhane, terming him ineligible to become a parliamentarian. A hearing on the writ has been set for today. CPN Unified Socialist has formed a task force for the merger with leftist parties. The 4-member unification task force includes the party's General Secretary Beduram Bhusal alongside Gangalal Tuladar, Prakash Jwala and Bijay Paudel. The party has said that the task force has been formed with the objective of discussions and unification with leftist party. Meanwhile, CPN Unified Socialist is yet to decide on whether to support the government or to remain in the opposition. Members of the party have said that no official suggestion from the ruling coalition has been made so far regarding CPN Unified Socialist's participation in the government. A boy infected with measles has died in Nepalganj, Banke. Despite regular vaccination campaign for children against measles in the past 4 decades, measles is still being reported in Nepalganj. The government has set a target of eradicating measles by the end of 2023. However, challenges continue to pile up. Even as cases of measles were reported in the past 3 years, no deaths were recorded. Measles has spread in 8 wards of Nepalganj with 30 infections, while a boy aged 2.5 years succumbed to the illness. Of the total infected, 26 had not received vaccinations against measles and rubella. Measles is considered a highly infectious illness. Doctors have said that measles can spread up to 18 individuals from one patient. However, the risk of infection is very less among those vaccinated. The first dose of the vaccine against measles is given to a baby 9 months from birth, while the second dose is administered on the 15th month. Inoculation drives have been held for children up to 15 years of age in areas with high risk of spread of measles. The vaccination campaigns to eradicate measles were held in 2016 and 2020. With the recent spread of measles in Nepalganj, monitoring has been intensified in risk zones. Prior to this, 4 children had lost their lives due to measles that had spread in the local levels of Thading, Mokwanpur and Gorkha in 2019. While no deaths had been reported since then, the fatality and alarming spread of the contagious illness in Nepalganj has added further challenges to the government's policies and international commitments. Following the directive of Prime Minister Pushpakamal Dahal to ease public service delivery, the District Administration Office Kathmandu has implemented time card in some of its services. Based on the directive of the Ministry of Home Affairs, the Kathmandu District Administration Office has implemented time card for citizenship, minors' identity card, and renewal of organizations, among others. With this, service seekers are to receive new citizenship and minors' identity card within an hour by completing all required procedures. According to Assistant Chief District Officer Devi Pandey Khatri, renewal of organizations would be completed within 30 minutes as well. Khatri added that the time card would also be implemented in 6 other services at the earliest. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs has made preparations to ease procedures related to passport and consular services as well, while the Ministry of Fiscal Infrastructures and Transport has begun procedures to ease hassles related with the distribution and renewal of driving licenses. The first term of the 753 local levels could not be termed productive amid lack of good governance and cases of irregularities. As of recent, the Commission for the Investigation of Abuse of Authority had filed cases against 12 public representatives of local levels. Speculations of repetition of this trend have surfaced as more cases are being filed against the local level authorities. The CIAA had filed 65 cases against the public representatives of local levels in the past 12 months. The CIAA has filed cases against Vice Chairperson of Baglung Municipality, Surendra Khadka, and Deputy Chief of Mohanyal Rural Municipality, Puja Devi Buda Magar. Gopal Rai Yadav, the Mayor of Fatua Bijayapur Municipality in Rohtahat, was suspended within a month of his appointment after a case was filed against him regarding financial irregularities during his previous term. In the past 5 years, cases have been filed against 2 municipal chiefs, 1 deputy chief, 4 rural municipality chiefs, and 2 deputy chiefs, 33 ward chairpersons, and members. Most of the cases filed in the CIAA are against the local level government. The public representatives of the previous term have been praised for their successful term, while some are facing charges of corruption. The public representatives at the local level must learn from their past mistakes and work in favor of the nation and its people. In our Public Voice segment, we had asked people in several provinces regarding ways to prevent corruption in the local level. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
Public Voice. यो घुसपिस गर्नेलाई कारबाही गर्न पर्यो।
स्थानीय निकायका कर्मचारीले जसरी पनि उपभोक्ताहरूलाई सूचना दिनुपर्छ।
सरकारवाला निकायहरूले पनि
जनगुनासो आउँदा त्यसलाई चाहिँ अलिकति चासोको साथ सुनिदियो भने
बेलैमा एउटा अडिट गराउने प्रक्रियालाई बसाल्नु पर्यो।
अख्तियारले एकदम नजिकबाट मोनिटरिङ गरिरहनु पर्यो।
अब तिनीहरूलाई पनि अब सजाय दिनु पर्यो।
जुन जिम्मेवारीमा हामी छौँ त्यो जिम्मेवारी चाहिँ हामीले इमानदारपूर्वक काम गर्यौँ भने।
It's time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
Here's the question. What should be done to expand Nepali products in the international market? Your options are A, ensure quality production, B, market promotion, and C, improvements in policies. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B, or C, and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. Shrestha Vratakatha Festival, a month-long festival dedicated to God Madhav Narayan and Goddess Shrestha, has started from today. Shrestha Vratakatha is a Hindu tale recited every day for a month. The Shrestha Vratakatha book tells the story of the life of various gods and goddesses. It is basically a story narrated by Lord Kumar, elder son of Lord Shiva and goddess Parvati, to Saint Agasti about the formation of the universe. The month-long festival is celebrated in Kathmandu by taking holy dips in Shali River in Sakhu. Some women fast for the whole month and take only one meal a day and read the story of goddess Shrestha. It is believed that by worshipping God Madhav Narayan and goddess Shrestha, wishes will be fulfilled. The festival is also celebrated throughout the country by organizing festivals and taking holy dips in sacred rivers and ponds. The project for exploration of petrol in Dai Lake district that had been halted due to COVID pandemic has yet to resume. According to the Department of Mines and Geology, the delay by authorities in upgrading the road infrastructure and land acquisition has pushed the exploration. Dai Lake's Bhairavi Rural Municipality and Dulu Municipality are believed to have petroleum. In a G2G agreement, Nepal government and Chinese Geological Survey Company had back in 2019 aimed to begin drilling the region for fuel.
Sports News.
The Jhapa Sports Development Committee has felicitated winners and coach of the 9th National Games. Players and coaches who bagged medals during the tournament in Gandaki province were felicitated at a covered hall in Mechi Stadium in Chandragadi of Jhapa. Two players of Jhapa had bagged gold medals during the event. Trishna Jawedgu for women's boxing and Roshan Magar for ITF Taekwondo had won gold medals, both of whom were awarded 10,000 rupees and players' kit yesterday. Likewise, 7 players who had won silver medals were given 5,000 rupees and 7 others who won bronze were felicitated with 3,000 rupees cash prize. A team of the International Cricket Council has arrived in Nepal following allegations of match and spot fixing at the Cricket Association of Nepal's first ever official franchise tournament, Nepal T20 League. The team has held talks with the National Sports Council, Central Investigation Bureau of Nepal Police, and the Anti-Corruption Unit ACU of the league. Representatives of the Anti-Corruption Unit of the ICC, including Andrew F. Grave and Sunny, have arrived in Nepal to investigate into alleged match fixings in the ongoing Nepal T20. The team has held talks with National Sports Council member Secretary Tunkalal Ghising. After the surfacing of the allegations, the council had formed a 5-member investigation team led by Ekendra Bahadur Kumar. Prior to holding talks with member Secretary Ghising, the team of ICC had reached the Tribhuvan University cricket grounds to hold talks with the tournament's ACU and umpires. That's all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.